Hello. So today I'm going to go over the kit overview for Yao Xi. Hope that's how you pronounce it. It's either Yao Xi or Yo. Yeah, I'm going to say Yao Xi. Yao Xi sounds like it could be it. So let me just mute this game sound. We'll go to there in a second. So what is he? He is a Saga City support, blue mark, internal injury damage hero. He's kind of like what he's actually identical. He's basically what Kalania is for Poison Team. He is the internal injury Kalania. So what does he do? His basic deals 180% attack damage, 180% internal damage to a single target after its refresh duration of all attribute buffs and all allies. So you'll see later that this is going to be a constant thing, so your attribute buffs will constantly be refreshing. You'll never drop them, which is going to be huge for pursuing attack teams. Going to be huge for internal injury team. Healing Elixir then restore all allies' HP by 90 times Yao's initial speed. Grant them a shield by 270 times Yao's initial speed, up to 2 layers. So if you're looking at so his passive, you want 3000 speed plus. So if you just go for the bare minimum to 3000, you're looking at around 270%, 270,000 healing, and you're looking at 810,000 shield, up to 2 layers off the shield. So you could that I'm not up to that's at 3000 speed, so you can always go higher. His passive then, Benevolent Savior. Is actually really good. I actually really like how it's done. If it works as worded, it'll be a good passive. So increase basic attack, allies basic attack and skill damage by 0.0016% of Yao's initial speed during a pursuing attack up to 3000. So again, if you're at 3000, it will increase your hero's pursuing attack, basic skill damage, and attack skill damage, basic attack damage and skill damage by 48% maximum, which very strong during a pursuing attack. That's like basically if you do, let's say, 100 damage, having this means you're going to do 148 damage. That's without any other modifiers. That's without crit damage modifier. That's without mastery modifier. That's without any dot modifiers. That's without any previous skill damage or attack damage modifiers. That's just like the raw example. And then this second bit is identical to Kalania. When entering battle, if he has more than 1,000 points of initial speed, for every 1 point exceeding 1,000, he gains 80 extra points up to 160,000 extra HP. So again, that's 80 times 2,000, which gives you the 160,000 HP. Electroshock Therapy grants attack up to all allies for 2 turns. Deals 200% attack and 200% internal damage to all enemies, and then removes all buffs from all enemies. Very nice. So it's a buff removal, which is very strong. So at the beginning of each, it's really just a attack up and then buff removal. The damage is going to be negligible. At the beginning of each wave, increases Yao Xi's turn meter by 30%. So again, Kalani has this exact same thing. At the beginning of any turn, if 5 or more enemies' current tenacity is not lower than 200%. So what's that saying is if 5, basically, if the entire enemy team, if their tenacity are all higher than 200%, you're going to increase all your team's turn meter by 30% at the beginning of any hero's turn, starting from the first hero's turn. And then this effect can be triggered 10 times in each wave. So the first, it'll basically be if you're versus someone like Hania, first 10 turns, if you verse someone like Wukong, first 10 turns. If you verse Penny and Wukong, first 10 turns. I'm not sure Penny will trigger it on her own, though. She could not. I don't know the 100% on that fact, but I do know that she will trigger it. Okay, um, E2 then. So E2 is kind of where he becomes a PNA hero. If you do not have an E2, he will not work in the PNA team. Pursuing attack. So his first bit kind of counters Hania, counters Wukong purely on the basis that your team is just getting a ramp turn meter, doing it 30% turn meter at the start of anyone's turn. So say I don't know, say he's in your pure and attack team. Say you have the fastest Felucia. She goes, bursts in the entire battle. You then get 30% TM to everyone, but he'll probably be your fastest hero right now. So he'll go first, because you have 30% turn meter. He'll then gain another 30% turn meter at the start of his turn, so his next turn will only need 70%. Everyone on your team will get 30%. They're likely then to go 1, 2, 3 now, because say your next one goes, that's 30% again to everyone. Then your next one goes, that's 30% again. Your next one, 30%, next one, 30%, next one, 30%, and you're already back to your first hero. After 4 turns, your first hero will take another turn. And it keeps repeating. Another 4 turns, he'll take another turn. But the good caveat to this is, during those 4 turns, your enemy is actually not getting any turn meter. If your team is set up correctly, which it should be, you're basically going to go Yao Xi, 30% turn meter to your next highest, which is going to trigger their turn. 30% to your, 30, not to your next highest, 30% to everyone, which triggers their turn. 30% to everyone again, which triggers your next highest turn meter turn without the enemy gaining any turn meter. So basically, what it does against this is really good against certain teams. So against Hania in particular, because hers only lasts for 2 turns. Because you're going to go so fast, you're getting so much turn meter, they're actually just going to be stopped there with gaining no TM. So therefore, their tenacity will never drop. Same for Wukong in a team. Their tenacity will never drop. He is a very strong hero, and his E1, in my opinion, is busted. It basically ensures you get the first 10 turns in 9 out of 10 matches. Maybe against the HP Dutch team, you will not get the first 10 turns. You won't get the first turn because probably a Psara or Tatron, but you'll get the next 8 or next 9 turns, which is very strong. E2 then. Each time after an ally pursues an attack, Yao Xi gains elixir and electricity storage. So, the one caveat for the E2, you need the E3. Because he doesn't pursue an attack until E3. Oh, never mind. Each time an ally, I didn't read that properly, I thought it was him. Each time an ally pursues an attack, you gain so he doesn't actually can't grant himself stacks. Sorry, I got that completely wrong. So when Auxilia is stacked to 10, he will cast Heal and Elixir. And when electricity storage is stacked to 20, it'll cast Electroshock Therapy. So it's kind of like Kalania's first 2 casts of each of it. It casts the other one, but then she goes back to not casting them. What, in my opinion, He is a carbon copy of Kalania with slight changes to his kit. The effect spell can only be triggered once respectively before he acts, but it does continue stacking obviously, so it triggers once, and then he can still gain Elixir, but he will not trigger it until his turn. Healing Elixir now also increases turn meter by 20%. What other heroes? S2 does that. Oh wait, Kalania. Electroshock Therapy also grants all allies internal injury up to, I'm pretty sure, Kalania's S2. No, it grants deep poison in 2, doesn't it? It's Kadrian who gives the poison up. So deep poison in 2 you get from oh, what did I do there? There we go. Deep poison in 2 she inflicts, so it kind of like does pretty much the same effect, does the opposite as a buff. Okay, so when his turn ends, he'll cast Viper Bite to attack one random enemy. This will trigger Penne, because when an ally pursues an attack, she follows up. I believe that's how she works. It seems to always be what it works. Now I'm just double guessing myself. Okay, by turn, once when other allies pursue attack an enemy. Okay, Penny will cast by turns pursuing an attack. The attack once when other allies pursue attack an enemy. Yeah. Yeah, so this will basically trigger, at the end of his turn, will always trigger Penny to pursue an attack as well, which will give Teles 2 stacks per Yao's turn, which will buff her up immensely. And for every one ally pursuing an attack tag deployed, so this doesn't include himself, reduces all allies' basic attack damage and skill damage taken by 15%. So that will include himself. So if you have a 14 PNA, which you're 100% likely to have, all your allies, everyone on the team will have a 60% basic attack damage reduction and a skill damage reduction. Huge. When 5 allies with PNA tag are deployed, he additionally casts Healing Elixir once. Now, I do not know. In my opinion, when it says that, I feel that it means that he will cast Healing Elixir at the start of the battle. I'm not sure how it is. If it is when he does Healing Elixir, he'll cast it again. I'm not sure. Wording is very temperamental, but if it's at the start of the battle, that means you're boosting everyone by 20%, so he'll gain 50% at the start of the battle. I'm not sure is that. Have to see on Thursday when he comes out. So that's it from the video. Really strong hero. I can see him definitely replacing. The thing is, if he replaces Wukong and PNA team, it means that he won't counter the PNA team as such unless Penne does it. So it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting if you put him in the PNA team because he doesn't actually do anything for that team. All he gives them healing, gives them shield, does a reduction. Maybe the skill damage, base attack damage reduction will offset the tenacity and mastery res from Wukong. I'm not sure. We'd have to test it. The damage increase will increase that team very highly though. So yeah, it'll definitely be to and fro with that team. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, which will probably be, it'll come out on Thursday for testing. Peace.